Radiant team ban.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this best of two series for Division C between the White Llamas and Red 5 standing by. Very excited indeed. Obviously, I love watching these Division C games because anything can happen.
10 seconds remaining.
Already speaking to the side of Red 5 standing by, of course. They're telling me what they're going to choose, although I'm pretty sure they're completely lying.
Dire team ban.
We'll find out. There's a tree and ban first up. I've never actually casted the White Llamas, or I can't remember if I have, but I know I've casted Red 5 standing by many times. So I know Red 5, they're pretty damn good. White Llamas, they might surprise me. Like I said, I've never seen them before, so I don't actually know what to expect from this team. Oh, we have a Slark ban out, so... It's the thing with Division C is the beauty is they just pick what they feel like picking and they ban what they feel like banning. So the beauty of it really is that you're not going to get that kind of stale, let's choose the meta heroes that we see in every pro game. It's more so like, let's just choose what the hell we want, what we're good at. And you tend to see a lot of cheese going on in this division. And there's an example for you. It's a first pick Lich, which is something you really don't see every day. But nevertheless, we have it. Generally, you'd see like a first pick Crystal Maiden, but apparently they might have gotten a bit confused and chosen the other ice hero.
10 seconds remaining.
Not the same thing, but nevertheless, it's close enough. Still ice, I suppose.
Reserve time.
Already going into the reserve time for the White Llamas. But they did choose second pick because they won the toss, so I want to think about this carefully because obviously second pick is the much more preferable way to draft. There's an Ogre Magi,
Dire team pick.
which, you know, it did get nerfed with the Ignite and the it was actually the Bloodlust, my apologies, that got nerfed because the mana cost increased. But if you really think about it, Ogre is still a very viable pick. The only reason you just don't see it as often as it used to is because a lot of other supports became much more popular.
Seconds remaining.
Ultimately, the Ogre is still a very popular kind of support to play,
Reserve time.
or very good support to play. I haven't organized an analyst to be with me either because I just couldn't be bothered,
Radiant team pick.
and the usuals just went online. So I let that go. I thought I'd just solo cast for now. A Bane pickup is rather interesting. It's not something you see every day.
10 seconds
It's a very it's one of those heroes. It needs a lot of levels before it can really do much.
seconds remaining.
Faceless void.
Like you've still got the sleep set up, so if you want to get something like a Mirana who can, you know, you can really set up the arrow for her, which basically guarantees you a kill because you get a 5-second stun time. Bane can be very useful in that sense. Also, the ulti is pretty good, but like I said, you need levels and you need the mana for it.
Seconds remaining.
He can also really ruin a laning stage for the opposing team. Because of that enfeeble, the minus damage, you can pretty much make it so they can't last hit at all because of how much minus damage you give them. In fact, if we look here, level 1 already gives 30 damage reduction, so that's actually massive. That's literally, for most heroes, you're looking at half to a bit above half of their damage gone.
Dire team ban.
So Bane is one of those good kind of supports for completely ruining a lane for the opposing team. Problem is what you do afterwards with it. We did also see a Bane Void pickup, I should say, but
10
it's questionable. I'm not a big fan of the Void safe lane.
Radiant
I think it can be very useful, but it's still, in my opinion, questionable. It does work decently with the Lich, if you really think about it. Like, if you can get a couple in the Chrono, like 2 or 3, obviously the Lich ulti will just ruin them, because they really can't split up within that Chrono, and it'll be enough time to, like, literally kill all of them within that Chrono, if he can get 2 or 3 of them in there. So it is a bit of a combo going on there, and it's a very easy one to hit. The only thing you have to depend on is the Void can actually land a Chrono with a couple of them in there.
10 seconds remaining.
Third pickup now coming out for the White Llamas.
Seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Going into their reserve time again, really thinking about it. Obviously, with the Void, you have to be slightly careful. You do need heroes that can counter it. Otherwise, if you do not counter the Void and he farms well, he will just ruin you. They already kind of have a counter in the Bane, because you can just hold the Void while he's in Chrono. Assuming you don't get stuck in the Chrono. So the Bane will have to have some very good positioning here. And there's a Zeus pickup, which, again, rather interesting coming out from the White Llamas. And there's the most disgusting hero in the game. Mr. Viper has joined in. Was literally just talking about 10 minutes ago about Viper in the casters Discord and how much most of us hate him, but he's been picked up by Red 5.
10 seconds remaining.
Draft is looking very strong for this side of Red 5 standing by right now.
5 seconds remaining.
Viper will completely destroy Zeus in the lane. Because Zeus does not have the mana upkeep to, you know, continuously spam Arc Lightning over and over again to actually annoy the Viper enough. Especially because of that third skill he has, the passive that allows him to really just basically have a lot of magic defense. Returns that poison tick to the Zeus as well. So it's not the best. But there's a Ricky, and again it's questionable because these picks from Red 5 are very strong. So Ricky can't really kill a Void. Like, you can silence him, but more than likely he'll be able to walk out and just walk away, time walk it off.
10 seconds remaining.
Viper, you cannot kill him with a Ricky, because he's just too tanky.
5 seconds remaining.
We'll see what else they go here for Red 5.
Reserve time.
Obviously, with the Void, you're probably going to want to combo a bit with that. Something like a Jakiro would be nice. Perhaps they want a roaming position 4. In which case, I don't know what they're really looking at, but generally you want something ranged, something with something with skills that, you know, they need you to basically stand in the same spot. Like a Skyrath would be alright as well. All these combo pretty well with them. Well, there's a Night Stalker. Again, that's an early presence. So once Night Stalker hits that nighttime, assuming Viper can get the levels to hit level 6 around that 4 or 5 minute mark, it's just going to be like, this Zeus is going to have a terrible time. Now, mind you, this could be the best Zeus player I've ever seen. And if they manage to pull through the early stages of the game, they might be able to win this. But as far as I can see right now, White Llamas, they're not looking too good. It's a very cancerous kind of draft from Red 5. And I don't mean that in a bad way. White Llamas, thinking about that last ban. Gonna use almost the rest of that reserve time now. And they'll get rid of the Drow, which is fair enough. Because Drow is pretty good when you've got a Void and a Viper. But, that being said, I do think this is a safe lane Void. So either we're going to see another support from Red 5, or we're probably going to see an offlaner. This is... You could also put the Night Stalker in the offlane, of course. Get those levels up just before nighttime hits so you can actually do something during night. Night Stalker is just extremely powerful during the nighttime, especially early game. You know, for the first 15 to 20 minutes, Night Stalker can literally ruin anybody. And there's a lot of soft cores on the side of White Llamas that he can target. Obviously, that silence is very strong during the night as well, because it amplifies how long it is. And look at that. At max level, the crippling field will be 8 seconds at night. 8-second silence is literally unheard of unless you're talking about Night Stalker. Not even Silencer can pull that off, and his name's Silencer. Red 5 now, last pickup. I'm a bit intrigued to see what they choose here. It wouldn't go past them to go for something like a Jakiro. Offers that push as well. Offers a lot of disable. But it works very well with the Void because you can really just drop that Macro Pyre. You can drop the Ice Path afterwards. It's just a lot of tick damage that can come out from this team. And he offers that push with the third ability. At this point, that would be my ultimate pick for Red 5, but perhaps they have their own idea. It would also increase the strength of their lanes. Because Jack is a pretty decent laner to have with you. So you could probably send him to the off lane with the Night Stalker, or even keep him with Void, or... this is interesting. Well, they've thrown a complete spanner in the works, and apparently I was completely wrong. I'm not even going to comment on what these lanes are going to be now, because I have no idea, but... I don't know. Like, it's a decent draft. Very tanky, very hard to kill. Decent kill potential from Red 5, but... a bit greedy, maybe. This now allows the White Llamas, if they really want to, they can really force the early game and get a massive advantage. But the problem is they don't have any push capabilities. I'm also questioning the White Llamas lanes, and there's a Phantom Assassin. Not the worst pickup in the world. Obviously going for that evade. So there's a lot of... pretty much all the cores on the side of Red 5 need to physically attack you. Viper has the ulti, which deals a decent amount of damage. Medusa has the Mystic Snake. Night Stalker has the that first nuke. Obviously Lich can nuke as well. You can still take the Phantom Assassin out, but if this PA gets a decent amount of farm and they get a good start, they might actually be able to win this game. As far as I'm concerned right now, I'm looking at Red 5 and thinking they've probably got the better draft. Especially if it goes past the 30-minute mark, then I don't think that White Llamas could win it. But, like I said, I never know. I could be completely wrong here, and they could just pull something out of the bag. They do have a lot of visibility, they have a lot of gank ability on the side of White Llamas, so they've got to make something happen early. The problem is you've got a Night Stalker on the other end of things to really ruin things for you early game as well. But we'll find out nevertheless. Uh-oh. Oh, never mind. That's just a bug. I thought we had a few connection issues for a second, but nevertheless, we are in the game. Actually, excuse me, we're doing the tower showdown now, which I don't know why this is still happening in captain's mode. Especially when it's ticketed. Suppose Valve needs to make that cash. That text should pretty much disappear in just a second. There it is. Alright, so we'll go through the draft quickly. See what the hell's going on here. So Geo, he'll be on that Medusa. We have Juktung Ju. I can't remember him being in the team, to be honest, but he's on the Night Stalker. Unless he's changed his name. Met, he'll be playing the Lich. We have Slavic Donor, he'll be playing the Viper. And finally, we have Pigpen. He'll be playing that Void this time around. It looks like it's an offlane Void as well. On the side of the Dire, we have Fatty Whale. He'll be playing that PA. We have a Zeus being played by Hooligan. Just a Boy will be playing that Ogre. We also have Rikamaru being played by Matt. And finally, we have Light Yagami playing that Bane. And it looks like everyone's just going to be comfortable to get their own bounties here. Nobody's really going to look to contest anything. It appears the Dire think that there was a ward placed. But Met hasn't really placed it yet. Matt, he's going to do a bit of scouting. Maybe place a ward pretty deep. Which is one of the positives about having a Riki. You can really just place a really deep ward like he does now. And they'll never know. Unless they already had a sentry sitting there, but at this point they're not going to know, and that's going to place... It's going to be really good for the Dire. It might have been a bit early to place it. I would have recommended probably placing it around the 3-minute mark. Simply because you want to wait till that Night Stalker is ready to go at 4 minutes. You give him the vision, and he'll just be able to wreck the offlane, but... Especially with the silence, obviously, because the Void's not going to be able to time walk it off. But we'll see what happens. Pigpen, he's not the worst player in the world either. It's pretty darn decent. And he's going to be up against a tri-lane, but I imagine he'll be okay. Like I said, he's got that Time Walk available. They're going to do a lot of harass to him, but Time Walk a bit of it off and realize he's probably going to have to be a lot more careful in this lane. Mid lane, we see Slavic Donut. He's up against Hooligan on the Zeus. Zeus is going to have to obviously be very careful. He's already got a bottle coming out, it looks like. Which is pretty good because he's going to need it. He's really going to need to spam those arc lightnings as much as he can to get the last hits because you can't go too close to the creeps when there's a Viper in the lane. And Zeus kind of depends on going close if he has to physical attack and he has no mana. Yagami with that good positioning, keeping Pigpen out. Things are very quiet, but you can already see Viper taking a slight lead in the last hit board. Hooligan already, like, he has to use that clarity straight away. Try to get that mana back up. Pigpen very confident to get that close without Time Walk available. And it doesn't look like the die has really picked up on the fact that the cooldown is quite high on the Time Walk at this point. White Llamas, they definitely need to keep track of that on the Void. Because you can really just keep it... You can really just count down and you'll know exactly when it's coming. And if you can get some early kills on Void, you really just make him suffer. Looks like there might be a bit of a rotation here. Yagami's here. Wants to have a go on Slavic Donut. They're already pinging him out. There's a lightning strike and there's a sleep. So they're going to hold him in place for a bit. I don't think they have the damage for it though, Hooligan. He's just waiting for that cooldown. Lightning bolt again. But Slavic Donut, he's very tanky. He's actually gone 2 levels in the corrosive skin as well. So he's got that magical defense. It's already at, what is it at? 15% magical resistance. Not to mention it deals that damage, like that tick damage back to you as well. Pigpen actually in a bit of trouble here. Fatty Well is going to make the chase with Matt. They do have an Orb of Venom on Ricky as well. So Matt doing that slow, and Pigpen has still got the Time Walk on cooldown. Dagger is available to slow him down a bit more, but the Blink isn't. But there's Matt, and they will get the first blood onto him. Yagami was in the back lines. He actually ran through the tier 1 just in case he needed to put him to sleep, but didn't need to. Copped a bit of damage from the tier 1, but they'll be happy with that. Because they really need to make this happen before he hits level 7, because that Time Walk's just going to be too good at that point. Meanwhile, bot lane, looks like they're going to have to go on Just the Boy. Juktong, trying to get the slow, not really in range any longer. They are 5 seconds away from the first night, and this is really when Night Stalker should get going. So Juktong is, I'm not sure how high level this bloke is, but no, he's only level 2. This is a bit of a, this is not very good for the Night Stalker. He can't really do much in this position because he needs at least 1 level on the silence. They do need to find some kind of kill though. He also does not have boots yet. He has the gold for it, but he hasn't bought it. Just the Boy. He's going to be slowed up though. They might be able to make something happen. Met, can he slow him down? Yes, he can. Just the Boy though. He's going to make the TP happen. The stun's available in a second. Good timing from the Ogre though to get out. Now they're going to try and go on Yagami. Puts Night Stalker to sleep. There's the slow again from Met. It looks like they're going to keep trying to go here. Juktong. He's got the nuke in just a second. There's the slow. He's going to die for it, and that's the right decision. Oh, actually, he gets juked here by Yagami. And he's actually going to die, it looks like. Juktong. He made the wrong move, and he's got no mana for the nuke anymore either, so he'll eat a tango. He'll try to make the back off, but Yagami's behind him. If he runs into him, he could get the kill onto him, and he does. So big mistake from Yagami as well.
For the wings of the night.
I'm very surprised that Yagami tried to go and make something happen again on Juktong when he was already scot-free, and now he gives 1 kill away to Juktong. As always, it's Pat. Thank you very much for hosting the stream. I always appreciate that. You always seem to show up when I need it. Juktong though, on the Night Stalker, he'll get 1 kill at the least. Now he's got the boots and TPs, and that's when he'll go for more. He really needs level 3 at least though. This is the problem right now for him. He found a kill, but to be fair, it was completely like, it was a complete mistake from Yagami. He really should not have found that kill. He's going to go back bot lane and he'll probably try and find another one. If you can get at least 2 kills on the Night Stalker during the first night, that's pretty decent. So basically, he really needs to find at least one more. It looks like he may try and get hit level 3 first. He is also stacking as well to help out that Medusa. But essentially you can tell with the draft that they have, they're just trying to delay the game as much as they can so Medusa can get tanky. Looks like Juktong will steal that refresh rune and slow down Yagami. Now he might turn around to him, but there's a sleep. Actually, Yagami's sticking around here. Juktong not feeling confident to keep chasing though. Meanwhile, top lane, Fatty well, farming decently well. He is second in last hits. In fact, we'll bring up the net worth board now, and yeah, Viper's at the top, very closely followed by Fatty well, who got that first blood, so that kind of makes sense. Juktong still trying to find that second kill. He's got about 1 minute left till the first night ends, and he'll find Yagami. This could be big because Viper's around the area as well. The sleep again coming out, but you can see straight away Slavic, he's getting in position to... He has the ulti as well, so this is pretty big. This is exactly what the Night Stalker needs, unless he gets denied, but no, they'll get the kill. He'll get the XP as well, so now he's level 3. That's pretty much all the Night Stalker needs the first night. If he can get one more out of this, he'll be extremely happy, but... For the low level that he is, like for the pretty bad start he's had, that's a pretty decent amount of kills to set up for your team. And it looks like he'll try and make something happen on Fatty well, but the salve is there. Yagami though, he could be the target. There is a chrono available, so there's about 20 seconds to the next night. Has he got silence? Yes, he does. He doesn't use it though. Sleeps there. Pigpen, he's going to have to commit that chrono, it looks like. The ulti coming out from Zeus as well. The night's about to end in 10 seconds. They might be able to pull this off. I'm not 100% sure. No, they'll get the kill onto Pigpen. Now Juktong has to back off. He took a bit too long to get the silence onto Bane. And that's what really screwed him there, because if he didn't fall asleep, then they might have been able to make something happen, but... They were forced to use the chrono. There was no lucky bashes coming out from the void either within that chrono. And it kind of screws them up. And actually, we just missed a kill. Matt gets a kill on Met. Where the hell did that happen? Bot lane. So Matt making the dive. Just the boy, got to be careful. Early bash coming out from Pigpen. Gets very lucky in that first bash. Now has to find another one probably, because Just the boy, he is rather tanky. He'll keep chasing. He's got no support with him, but he has the time walk if necessary. Matt did help out with that smoke, and they will not get the kill on the Ogre. Things slowing down again. For both sides, really. Which, to be absolutely fair, Red 5, they won't mind that. The thing is, though, White Llamas, they will. Because they're kind of dependent on getting a decent early start with this kind of draft. Because PA will not, and I repeat, it will not be able to go up against a Medusa late game. Assuming the Medusa gets the farm. Still, looks like Yagami and Just the Boy, they might make some rotations happen. They're actually going to find Met. There's the sleep, and should hold him in place for the rest of them to get in place, and looks like White Llamas might be able to find a kill here. Met, he's running off, but Hooligan's there, and yeah, they'll commit the ulti. It's just an easy kill to get. No point holding the ulti. And actually, Juktong might go down as well. Fatty, he's been silent, so no dagger available. There's a TP support coming in from the Viper, so Slavic, he's going to have to commit that ulti if he wants something to happen here, but he's out of range. Bit unfortunate for him because he TP'd on the wrong side of the tower. Thinking that the PA might run through the jungle to get out. Bot lane, Just the Boy might be in a bit in trouble here. Geo, he has the ulti. He's got to commit it though. Pigpen, he does commit now. And Pigpen, he does have the chrono, so he can use it on Matt if necessary. But there's a dust available on Juktong, so good little kill coming out onto the Ricky. It is still 6-3 though. So the White Llamas, they are in the lead in that sense. In fact, PA now is at the top of the net worth board.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Looks like Slavic, he's going to try and make some pushes happen on the top lane, but only so much he can do. In fact, Fatty Well is going to go for a gank attempt, but Slavic has the ulti. The evade is level 2, so he does have 30% evade chance here, but he's copying too much damage from Slavic Donut, and assuming he can get the last hit, and he can, that'll be an easy kill for him. Bit of wishful thinking coming out from Fatty Well. Meanwhile, bot lane, Juk Tong gets the slow off, but now he's in trouble, and Matt, he'll jump onto him. He does have the smoke. No, he doesn't, but nevertheless, they'll get an easy kill. And Juk Tong has to be very careful, because if it's not nighttime, he can't make those plays happen. Pigpen now, still holding the chrono. Met, he's not level 6 yet, so he doesn't have that ulti. That being said, Pigpen gonna go for a chrono onto 2. That's pretty massive. The Mystic Snake as well. It looks like they'll get 2 kills out of this. Yagami, he's trying. He healed himself, but it didn't really matter. So good early chrono coming out from the Void. At these early stages, it wouldn't even matter if he used it on one hero. As long as he gets the kill, it's all worth it. And they even this out to a 7-6 right now. They'll also get the tier 1 for themselves, so Pigpen and Geo sticking around, taking care of the objectives of the game.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yagami now with the arcane boots, so he's going to be pretty happy. That's really all you want at this stage with a Bane. You could probably help Just the Boy out now with the warding. In fact, Just the Boy's got arcanes as well, so...
Radiant's top tower.
Actually, fairly well. He'll get a tier 1 top. It's trying to even out the board a bit. Like I said, there is a sense of urgency that needs to occur from the White Llamas right now. Within, I would say, from the 15-minute mark, they need to start making smokes happen ASAP. Because they need to slow this farm down on the Medusa and the Viper. Otherwise, they're going to be too much to deal with. And Medusa, what's she going for? She's going to get the Dragon Lance. She's already got a casual Ring of Health, which she'll later turn into a Linken's. Dragon Lance is probably more value at this point anyway. It looks like Juk Tong. It is nighttime. He's going for a gank and he'll find Hooligan. He gets put to sleep again. Yagami trying to help out Slavic, in a bit of trouble, but that magical resistance really helping. Matt, can he get the kill? Yes, he can, but Juk Tong's on his well, I was about to say ass, but nevertheless, Matt's going down. 2 for 1 right now. Good rotation from Juk Tong. Slavic, he's stuck around a bit too long, but he's still going to be very happy with that. Oh, Fatty Whale goes for a quick kill onto Met. Gets Geo to commit the ulti, and now there's some TPs coming in. Yagami just there to, if he needed to help out. He also has the Fiend's Grip as well.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top
And this is what I mean. The Dire, that they know what they have to do. White Llamas, they're making some kills happen. It's just that the heroes on the Radiant side are very tanky. And so while you're trying to kill them, it's just, yeah, it's not easy. Even if they jump on Slavic Donut now, you've got to hope for like at least 2 crits. The Fiend's Grip committed, and unfortunately Fatty Well ran back for most of that. They do not want to go on this. The chrono is there onto 2 as well. It's perfectly placed, and PA should drop here. Yagami, I don't really think he has a chance either. He puts him to sleep, but it doesn't matter. Slavic Donut now with a double kill. And again, just not good news for the side of the Dire. Essentially Red 5 doing what White Llamas needs to be doing right now, and if this continues, it could be a very early GG.
Dire's bottom tower.
Hooligan hasn't really been able to get much farm. You can really see the struggle. He's trying to go for what looks like a Yule Scepter, but it's only so much that can do. They do need some disables to deal with the Void, especially if they don't get them, like if their teammates get caught in a chrono, they need to be able to stop that Void from hitting. But then again, you've got a Viper and a Medusa who will always be standing outside, as well as the Lich. And they can just deal that damage for the Void if he's asleep or he's Yulesed up. And this is what I was saying. I mean, as long as the Void gets the good chronos, it's going to be very hard for the side of White Llamas. They're going to make a jump here. Yagami puts him to sleep. But I don't think the Medusa's really in too much trouble. Geo, he's just going to back off now, and Fatty Well will decide to do the same thing. They did force some TP rotations though, so that is a bit of a bonus. Oh, Matt has to be careful. They're going after Yagami, but there's a block. Juktong doesn't seem like he noticed, but he doesn't have dust anyway. Fatty Well will jump in. There's a smoke as well, and the ulti from Ricky. Can they take out this Juktong? I think they just might be able to, but there's the Medusa ultimate. They're going to come in, the Lich ulti as well, and PA will go down. Now Ogre, he'll be the next target as well. Just the boy. He's indeed just the boy, and he'll be going down. Matt, he tries to smoke, and they actually Fiends grip the Medusa. They can take him out. He has no mana here, so they do get a big kill, but Slavic Donuts on the double kill right now. It's actually a 2 for 3, so White Llamas is doing very well for themselves, actually. White, yeah, they'll take him out as well. Slavic doesn't have a chance, and that's exactly what White Llamas needed. Here I am sitting there casting this team fight thinking, oh no, Red 5's just dominating this Llamas team, but no, in fact, it was the other way around. Sleep, a bit misplaced by Yagami, but nevertheless, they probably wouldn't have been able to catch Pigpen anyway. And what do we have here coming out for Fatty Well with Diffusal Blade? I'm not really sure how much help that's going to be. He probably would have been better off getting something like a Silver Edge, but if he wanted to try to deal with, you know, the Medusa and the Viper, he's probably going for the Diffusal just because of that mana drain. And obviously the slow helps as well, but mostly the mana drain, but you like it's not gonna do that much to a Medusa, who's gonna have a pretty big mana pool once they get the Lincolns. And she is working on it now, in fact. The positive is, though, the Bane pick, because it drains mana and it's 5% mana per second, it does help against the Medusa, because as long as you can Fiend's Grip him, he'll be losing so much mana during that Fiend's Grip, not only to the damage that's being dealt, but to the mana drain. And as you saw last team fight, it meant that Geo had absolutely no mana by the end of it, and they just took him down so easily. With Medusa without mana is a completely useless hero. Looks like the Dire do plan to defend here. And they're going in. Yagami looking for the sleep. He'll find it onto Met. Meanwhile, it looks like Fatty Well finds Juktong in there. Looks like they're going to take him out pretty much immediately though. Lich ulti comes out. Ricky, quick ulti comes out as well. Pigpen, he'll find a double chrono, but it's not going to matter too much. There's no backup. Hooligan's there outside as well. Fatty Well, he's in trouble. He'll go down. They need to keep fighting though. Pigpen, he will survive through all this. It's a 2 for 2 so far. Sleep comes out from Yagami, but it looks like the Dire have lost this team fight. Once Fatty Well died, it was pretty much it. And it still is a 3 for 3, so it still is even. Somehow the Void died in the back lines, and Red 5, they do end up getting a bit more out of that in terms of golden XP, but still even enough. I forgot to mention as well, obviously Met with that ice armor, really going to help make his team even tankier. Not to mention it also slows down the push of the Dire if you use it on the towers. So there's a lot to this draft from Red 5. Just a boy. Just throwing out some ignites. Faduel, just trying to find that farm he needs. He really seems to want that diffusal fast, which is fair enough, but like I said, I don't know if I completely agree with that decision. We'll see what he's thinking afterwards, though. Once he's got it, we'll see what happens. It is still 16 to 16, so it is relatively even. Net worth is going into the side of Red 5 by almost 4k, but it is a substantial lead at 20 minutes, but not, you know, game ending. So the side of White Llamas, they still can come back in this game fairly easily, assuming they can get a big team fight win, or maybe even 2. Looks like Hooligan's working into that Battle of Discord now. They might find somebody here. They find a ward at the least. Is there a smoke? Yes, there is. Hooligan has 2. So they could go for a smoke attempt, but they know where the Radiant are. And you do have Matt that can scout them out, so you don't necessarily need it, but it looks like they will commit one. Radiant, there's no wards to spot this out because it just got dewarded. Looks like Fatty finishes off that diffusal blade before they smoke. Obviously don't want to leave that behind. And they'll have a go here. They've got to probably try and concentrate on, well, they're going to find Met at the least, which is still a decent kill to get. And that's a quick kill. Can they find any more though? Juktong is there and he's not very fast. Well, actually he is decently fast. It is nighttime. Getting 5 to kill a Lich is probably not worth it unless you can get this tier 1 tower as well. Which at this point with the Bloodlust should be definitely not that hard. Battlewell also has the Bloodstone, so that does help quite a lot. Doesn't look like the Void's anywhere around the area to get a good chrono off, so they'll have to let that tier 1 go, and I think Llamas will be very happy with that one. They made the smoke worthwhile, which is pretty much all they wanted. Fatty, he's going for that Deso now as well, so once he's got that, he'll be able to take out people a lot easier. It's just a question of how well his team can back him up. Obviously, you have the Bloodlust, which really helps. If you can just Fiend's Grip that Medusa, it could really make all the difference. Things again going very quiet on both sides. Completely understandable for Red 5. They just want to farm. Dire though. White Llamas, they've got to make something happen, I feel. Again, there is a sense of urgency and they're going to run out of time eventually if they don't speed things up a bit. Smoking is the right idea, but they need to find a bit more than a Lich. Looks like Fatty Whale. He'll go for the tier 1 bot, and if he can get that, that's pretty decent. It'll open up all those tier 2s to take. And we should see some kind of smoke rotation after this tier 1. There is some defense coming in though. Slavic Donut doesn't want to give it away. He also has a Shadow Blade. And a Maelstrom, in fact. I didn't realize how farmed Slavic was. See Pigpen, he just has the Vladimirs, but usually you'll be pretty happy with that. But Geo, he's got that full Lincoln now, so he's a lot harder to kill. We see another smoke though, which is the right idea. It's just a question of whether they can take out someone decent. Juktong is there, but if they run into Medusa, that's a much bigger kill, and they do so. They'll commit the Fiend's Grip as well, and yeah, the mana's going down so fast. Fatty Whale, he'll take him out. Void coming in, Pigpen, can he get a big chrono? Yes, he can. It's onto all 5. There's just no backup here from the Lich right now. There it is. I don't know if this is enough. It's just too late. The Riki ulti was committed as well, and looks like Pigpen, he's gonna lose his life maybe. Juktong's stuck in all of this. Slavic Donut comes in as well. The Zeus ulti, it is massive. Can they take him out? Slavic, he's losing a lot of damage here. It's 2-0 so far. And Slavic, he's gonna go down. And in fact, Pigpen might be the next target. He has Time Walk in just a second. Does use it, but he's been slowed up, and they'll take him out as well. This is exactly the team fight the side of White Llamas needed. And the only one that walks off is Met. Unfortunately, Met was not in the right position to get that ulti off straight away while that chrono was going. He probably lost about 2 seconds of that chrono, and that could have made the difference. Not that I can blame him, because obviously they were not expecting that smoke rotation. But the side of Red 5 probably have to work on sticking by each other right now, because this is probably the peak of White Llama's draft. And Fatty Whale, he's getting very close to that death. So in fact, they're going to jump again. Goes on to Met. Met's losing his life so fast. And there's a crit. They'll take him out. Now Medusa. No mana left. Geo, he's going to lose his life. This is the second kill in about a minute that Geo dies. And this is not what you want as a Medusa. And as usual, teams are proving me wrong about drafts every single time. It does appear Red 5 currently, their draft is slightly greedy and maybe a bit too much. And in fact, they'll go again. Ogre being a bit aggressive, but they're going to go straight on to this Void who's been smoked up. Pigpen, he does manage to back off. Fatty well copped the Viper ulti. But if they can all get out of here, that's a pretty big win. Looks like Yagami will lose his life, but that's okay. Smoke is dropped. He puts himself to sleep. He's still alive through all this. They're actually going to jump on him again. Pigpen, he's in big trouble. Now the Fiend's grip. They'll get a kill somehow. Fatty Well's going to lose his life, though. I don't think that trade was worth it. In fact, yeah, the gold chain was bigger for the... No, in fact, it was worth it. My apologies. Apparently, I'm mistaken. So tier 2 mid goes down. Obviously, one of the strengths of having a Zeus is you can D-ward very easily. And you can already see that. He gets one observer ward down there. And it also helps with the net worth of Zeus. You don't think much about those 100 golds that he's getting, but they do stack up. Especially because you obviously want a lot of vision around the area. They've actually found Met. I'm really not sure what he was doing there. But he will go down very easily, thanks to the sleep of Yagami. Meanwhile, Just the Boy, he's actually pushing bot lane by himself. And yeah, he'll use that Bloodlust on the Siege creep, which that's all he needs to do. Now, this, if there's no defense, this will definitely take out the tier 1. And just look how fast that Siege creep attacks now. And yeah, they'll confirm that tier 1 for their own. Roshan is also being taken at this point. And it does not look like there's going to be any type of Roach defense coming out from the side of the Radiant. Yeah, Fatty well will pick up that Aegis. Now he's got the full Deso as well. He just needs to bring it out on the Courier, who's going back. And after that, I mean, they've got to go for some big team fight here. Because like I said, if they hold out for another 10 minutes on the 10-15 minutes on the side of the Dire, I do feel like Red 5's draft will kick in and they won't be able to breach high ground. With that Aegis and with that Deso that the Fatty Whales just picked up, they could probably get a Rax in mid lane if they really wanted. You don't really want to allow Geo to get that Hurricane Pike because it's going to make it that much harder to kill him. Looks like Pigpen's being a bit sneaky here. Red 5 feels like they want to go for a fight. And Pigpen's going to be very cheeky. He's going to stay in the back lines and try and get a massive chrono off. This could be the game turner for the side of Red 5, but we'll have to see. Juktong obviously struggling a lot with farm right now. Almost 30 minutes, still no Aghanim Scepter, which is pretty much compulsory on a Night Stalker. And yeah, they're going to go for that tier 2 top now, with that Aegis feeling very confident. Fatty well, does he have the Deso? Yes, he does. And there's a sleep onto Med again. They're going to stun him up, and yeah, he's going to go down very, very fast. 2 hits from Fatty Whale will take him out. The tier 2 should be pretty much guaranteed now. And Red 5, they'll stay on the high ground and wait this one out. Honestly, I don't even think that the side of White Llama should back off here. There's really just no reason to. They still have the Fiend's Grip, I believe. Yeah, they still have the Zeus ulti. Fatty Whale's still got the Aegis as well as the new Deso. He has got that level 2 Diffusal Blade though. He's bought the recipe for it, so he might want to wait because that Purge may come in handy for taking out people on the high ground. Looks like they'll wait for the Courier to pick that up and then they'll have a go again. Maybe take out that last tier 2 at bot. That being said as well, there's a double damage just sitting there waiting for Fatty Whale, and he's 10 seconds before it disappears as well, so he's very lucky to grab that one. Courier going back for that diffusal recipe, it looks like. No, it doesn't pick it up. That's probably a bit of a mistake for Fatty Whale if he doesn't grab that. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's really realized. Geo still trying to farm up that Hurricane Pike, really struggling here. There's just no farm to be had across the map right now because the side of White Llamas, like I said, they're at their peak. But they've got to try and finish this before it hits about 40 minutes. With that double damage, it's about to wear off. Unfortunately for them, the creeps were not available in the bot lane to really make something happen. So that double damage will wear off, but the Bloodlust is available. And it's going to still make it very fast for Fatty Well to take that tier 2 out. Looks like Matt's starting with the roaming, just making sure he has vision on where all the other heroes are, just in case they smoke up and go for a gank attempt. Tier 2 will be going down. It looks like they might try to breach high ground here. Everything is ready to go. So what the Radiant need right now, they need a massive Chrono, followed by the Lich ulti, and then you could probably set up the Medusa ulti with it as well. We'll see how it goes though. Look at this. Fatty Well jumps right in, but he's in a bit of trouble. Oh, the Chrono cancelled right now. They'll actually take out the Void, and he has no buyback. Slavic Donut, he's very low as well. The Lich ulti's bouncing around, not really doing too much. The PA will jump in again. He has respawned from that Aegis, and Viper's down. There's 2 with no buyback. Nightstalker will buy back, but this could be big trouble here coming out for the side of Red 5. Juk Tong looks like he might be able to take out that Ricky, but not the case. Matt will be able to back off. Fatty still going for that tier 3 right now. Met, he just gets taken down. 1k crit. Literally only took 1 hit for them to take him out. Geo, there's really nothing he can do but throw out Mystic Snakes. The ulti is gone, and they even put him to sleep just to kind of keep him at bay for a bit. But this looks like at least 1 Rax, and I don't even know if they'll back off here. They might even go for a second one. If they can get off Juk Tong right now, and they do. Just a boy, he has an Aghanim Scepter. I think they might be able to go for the second. Void and Lich are up, but there's no oh, actually there is a Chrono. My apologies. They cancelled it with the sleep from Yagami. But what can he really do here? He depends on the Lich ulti, which is on cooldown. Fatty Well, he has enough damage to take out the tier 3 at least. Looks like he might just back off just in case. He doesn't want to give away too much. Still very well played by the White Llamas. They know exactly what they need to do. This is going to make it that much harder now for Red 5 with that 1 Rax. That wave is always, the creep wave at the bot lane is always going to be pushing you with the super creeps. The shrines can be taken out now as well, so you lose a lot more of that map control. And if they can pick up that second Rax, I mean, I feel like it'd be pretty much GG because they can't defend. Medusa is nowhere near farmed enough at this point to be able to defend against 2 lanes of super creeps, if not mega creeps. Pigpen. He's got a Shadow Blade now, but I don't know how much of a difference that's really going to make. Obviously, he wants the Silver's Edge to get rid of that PA evade, so get rid of the blur, but it's going to take him a while to finish it off. White Llama's in position again to go for some kind of gank here. Very well. He's got the level 2 defusal, and he's just trying to get that Assault Cuirass recipe now. He will probably wait till he gets the full Assault Cuirass before he actually goes again for the Rax attempt. Also, Roshan should be spawning relatively soon. It's got about a minute till we know exactly how long it's going to be. Net worth wise, it's almost 20k now in the side of the White Llamas. Second shrine will be going down. This just adds to the net worth of the team, but as well as that, like I said, it takes away that map control from the side of Red 5. They're waiting for the Roshan, it looks like. It's got about 30 seconds till we know exactly how long now. But Fatty Well, he's very... in fact, he has the Assault Cuirass now. He's just waiting for the courier to go back to the base again. Oh, it looks like there's a smoke up here coming from the Radiant. They want to make something happen. Slavic, he does have the Silver's Edge, so he can ruin the blur for PA. Chrono is up as well. Lich has the ulti. This could be massive. If Red 5 can find a couple of pickups, maybe 2, that could make a massive difference in their lives right now. Roshan will be spawning in about 45 seconds. So if they find the pickups, they can also get Roshan. Medusa does sit back and just keep farming. So Geo trying to get that farm up. Looks like they'll find the Ogre at the least. So not the worst pickup in the world, but obviously not the best. It is probably the worst one they could have found. But if that's all you find, it still gives them a 1.1k gold change. And they'll have to go back and defend this lane again. Geo now trying to get that MKB. He's got about 4.4k gold. So he will have it relatively soon. Roshan, 6 seconds away now. Question is, will Dire know about it? Are they going to check, or are they just going to go for the tier 3 at mid or top? Looks like they may just check. Roshan is there now. And this is perfect timing for the side of White Llamas if they find out about it. In fact, they will. Yagami knows now. Starts picking it out immediately. Looks like PA might go for a play onto Pigpen, but no, he will let him be. The time walk would kind of ruin it. Unless he gets like two crits in a row. And yeah, this is going to be a very, very quick Roshan. Matt has actually farmed pretty well for Ricky himself. And at this stage, Ricky will do a lot of damage as well. So Fatty, he'll pick up the Aegis. Matt, no, in fact it wasn't Matt, it was Zeus who picked up the cheese. So Hooligan, he'll be able to heal up in the middle of a team fight if he's in trouble. Looks like Pigpen was trying to push that top lane a bit to try and delay the push as much as he can. But they really need to be able to get all their combinations off from Red 5 to make something big happen, to pull this game back the way they need it. One big chrono could make all the difference. But it needs to be big, and he needs the Lich to be there and ready to ulti immediately. And unfortunately for him, to make matters worse, it's only a level 1 ulti. So although it's some decent damage, still, it's not the best you could ask for. Which basically means you need to chain everything perfectly. Make matters even worse, they found a double damage. Question is, will they go back and get it? Fatty well, of course, says yes, I will. Because that will make it so he has about 2k crits now. And those towers are just going to go down that much faster.
Radiant's top tower is
Yagami, not scared at all. Places a sentry. They're going to go in here. They'll throw the Ignite. They're actually going to jump onto Geo. And the Chrono is massive. It's onto 3, but again, there's no follow-up here. And Void's losing his life. He will back out of there straight away. Fatty well almost takes that Juk Tong. Can they do it? Yes, they can. The Zeus ulti as well. Geo, he's just going to melt to Fatty well. The double damage is too much. Medusa will buy back, though. They're going onto Slavik. Slavik, again, losing his life. And they've just got too much Disable here from the side of the Dire. The buybacks are coming up, but Fatty hasn't even lost his Aegis yet. Geo, he's lost all his mana pretty much. They're going to change to Slavik. They'll take him out first now. Geo might be the next target. And yeah, he's out. Fatty still has not lost the Aegis. It's an ultra kill coming up from Matt. And there's just not much else to say here. It was just perfectly executed. They finished at the 39 minute mark, so they get an early racks. They make sure that there's no farm going on from the side of Red 5, and they execute the draft perfectly. So that will be game 1 going to the White Llamas. Obviously, this is a best of 2, so we will be back for the second game, guys. Just stick around with me. I'll put a bit of music on, put the AFK screen on, and it should be approximately 5 minutes till I'm back. So, guys, just hold on. And again, thanks for watching.
team ban.
Ladies and gentlemen, hey Econ, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game 2 of the White Llamas, the Red 5 standing by. It is Michael Phoenix, joined by Econ. Econ, how you doing?
Doing good, how are you?
Good, mate. I'm glad for you to join me. It was getting a bit lonely casting by myself.
Yeah, I'm excited for this second game in the series
Well,
between these teams that I totally know about.
I'm assuming you weren't watching Game 1.
I was not watching game 1.
Oh, shame on you. Shame on you. Well, the White Llamas pretty much dominated. Red 5, they went a bit... the draft was pretty greedy. They went for like a Medusa, Void kind of style, but they couldn't hold out long enough, and White Llamas, they went for a PA style draft with a Zeus, and things just went a bit crazy and escalated quite quickly.
That could definitely happen. That's definitely a danger of running something like a Dusa, is if you don't get online in time, then she just doesn't really feel all that impactful.
Well, they had a Viper who was... I mean, Slavic Donor was on the Viper. They were doing quite well early, but it just, yeah, like you said, they just couldn't hold out. And Medusa could not find the farm to really push it to the late game, and they ended up losing. I suppose we'll see what happens this draft around, because I don't think they're going to do the same thing again.
One way around that is if you have something like Avenge, you have a support or a core. If you run her as a support, she's a support that really does scale very well. All of her abilities are useful at pretty much every phase of the game. We run her as a core, a lot different of a story, because you have a hero whose ultimate is swap. You know?
It's not too impactful as a core.
But this is another way of sort of going late game. It's something having a support like Avenge, a support that really does scale. And they answer with a support that also has some amount of scaling. Ice Blast is another ability that's very effective at all stages of the game.
Yeah, I've always liked Ice Blast, and in fact, we see a Void coming out. So the thing was, Red 5 had the Void last game around, and now White Llamas pick it up. I'm not sure why it's such a popular pick between these two teams, but apparently they like the Void.
Void is in a lot of ways its own kind of strat. Kind of like you've had like the Drow strat and the push strat. Well, the idea of the Void is just pumping that damage in the chrono. So it'll be interesting to see what they pick to go with it. I don't think I like Void that much when there's a Venge, because Venge can just swap people out of the chrono. Like if you have to get that Venge in the chronosphere, or it really kind of complicates things.
Well, that was the next thing I was going to say. Like they've chosen it literally into the Venge, which makes absolutely no sense. I don't know. Maybe they surely they have a plan of some sort.
Dire team ban.
Slaughter.
This is so minus armor. Yeah, that's also a thing.
It's the minus armor draft.
Yeah, I remember seeing this draft before, way back in Requiem Autumn. It's something that if you weren't quite sure what to pick, you could just take like Avenge Slardar opener, and now just any sort of right-click hero is fine. They take out the Drow. Yeah, Avenge Slardar and Drow is just too much physical damage to deal with. That's very understandable.
That being said, I mean, if like the thing is though, now Void kind of has to have the Venge within the chrono. Like you can't leave him out of the chrono, otherwise he's just going to swap whoever out, and then you're just going to get nothing done. Slardar, obviously, pretty good hero himself, assuming you can get the Blink Dagger early. Can really set up some kills.
You know, it's easier said than done. Like, what if the Venge just stays in the back and doesn't give you the opening?
Yeah.
Dire team ban.
Well, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Dazzle taken out gives your team armor. Can't have that happening, can we?
That's a good point. I was sitting there going, why are they banning Dazzle for? But then you're right. They actually do not want any armor on the other side. Well, we'll see what they choose.
I bet we could see like a TA come out, just, you know, chunk them with physical damage. It's got to be like a TA or a sniper or something mid that just like deals a whole bunch of physical.
It would be pretty hilarious to see like a full draft with people that can like lower your armor. That would actually be pretty hilarious to watch.
That's probably why Tide was taken out. the gushed armor reduction.
Yeah, well, they've still got something like you've still got like the Naga, I guess. If you want, you've still got the TA, like you said. Who else minuses armor? Is this an actual thing that's going to happen?
You know, you don't necessarily even need something that takes away armor. Just something that right clicks really hard is also fine. You know, you could be thinking, well, go ahead.
I was going to say I'm not going to be very surprised to see like a PA. You know, it's just like you said, right click. It can blink in. Generally gets a Desolator as well, so you can make matters even worse. It seems like a decent pick here.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see something like you could even see like an Elder Titan or a Skywrath coming out if they just want to go all in on the Chrono. You never know. Although, you know, ET is kind of like a forgotten hero, but maybe they want to try out the new cosmetic.
Lion.
I was a bit surprised because I thought, you know, with the Void, generally I see teams pick up something like a Jakiro because it's such a good setup, but we didn't see that last game, and it doesn't look like we're going to see it this game either. I just find that a bit strange.
I think Jakiro is pretty strong right now. I keep writing articles about this, but about why Lion is such a bad pick. I wrote one Requiem about it. I think he might have been in the Echo League as well, but Lion's one of those supports you pick where it feels like you're really not quite sure what you need, but you just want some sort of generic support that has stun, lockdown. You know, he has Hex, he has like he can impale, but it doesn't really do like it doesn't fit in the strat of I want to do this specific thing.
Yeah. So you're saying like it's an all-rounder like jack of all trades, but it doesn't really fit in any particular strategy.
Nature's Prophet coming out, so looks like they're gonna do some sort of rat. Maybe.
There's a Terrorblade. Looks like we might have a fast game here. Both teams.
That could definitely be the pace. We have heroes that can definitely push down towers. If you're not watching. So what do they have to catch the Nature's Prophet? Lion with the Blink could do it. I guess a Void could kind of like do it. I guess Ice Blast is also another nice way of stopping a split push. I imagine White Llamas is just more of like a sort of 5-man group up and push down your towers.
Yeah, I mean it's
sort of deal.
I think that I don't think White Llamas doesn't really look like they're planning on waiting for Nature's Prophet to get to the point where he actually can be really annoying with the split push. Looks like they're trying to finish this, you know, within 30-35 minutes here with the Terrorblade.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. Although they could also go late, I think. You know, Chronosphere is still viable. All phases. Terrorblade can take your towers very, very quickly, and if he gets enough items, he's definitely dangerous. Okay, so OD comes out. That is not what I was expecting. A lot of his damage is pure. You don't really think of him as the physical damage right clicker, but more as the pure damage right clicker.
Yeah, the reason, I mean, I think the reason why they've chosen ODs, it's very good against Terrorblade illusions because the Arcane Orb deals so much damage to illusions.
It's also pretty good against Void, because now Void has to get both the OD and the Venge in a Chrono. Because if one of those two heroes is outside of the Chronosphere, then the Chronosphere will be a failure. Like, if either the Venge or the OD is outside, it's going to make it very hard to win that fight.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you because the Astral's going to be there, and obviously OD with a Dragonlance he's not going to mind hitting the Void in the Chrono. It's not really going to be a problem for him.
Yeah, so I think this is just a counter pick in a lot of ways to the Void. Although Llamas really is not all in by any means on the Void either. I mean, because they have the Terrorblade.
Yeah, that's it. Even if the Chrono fails, you still got this massive, you know, Metamorphosis monster in the back lines waiting for you. So it's going to be a few issues here, it looks like, for Red 5. We'll see what they pick up last. It looks like they need a safe lane carry at this point.
I still think PA is okay-ish. You know.
Yeah. We'll see. Red 5 wasting the rest of their reserve time, but I suppose they're probably having a chat with each other.
It has to be some. Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying, what do white llamas need?
So for red 5, you're looking for some sort of right-clicking core. For white llamas, some sort of mid-hero that can get by against an OD.
Hmm.
10 seconds.
So maybe you just want something generic like a razor, you know?
5 seconds.
That's a good one.
Razor.
Uh
Okay, well,
Dire team
right hero, wrong team.
I can't blame them. Maybe they picked it simply because they thought white llamas might choose it themselves. I mean, it is a good pickup to have, like you said. It's going to be an issue for them, red 5.
10
Yeah,
seconds remaining.
basically the void, that it's going to be a hard void game. Because if any one of those 3 heroes, the Avenge, the OD, or the Razor is not in the Chronosphere, life is going to be pretty hard.
Hmm.
Just get static linked, all your damage is gone. So now you need some sort of mid hero that can go against either the OD or the Razor. My guess is it's going to be the OD mid and the safe lane Razor. You could even see something crazy like an aggro. Nah, probably not. But some sort of mid hero that can do well. There aren't a lot of those left in the pool, other than something like maybe a Viper. But I guess just take something like an Invoker and just accept that your mid lane's not going to do as well as it normally would.
Yeah.
I think Invoker would be okay.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you. They're wasting the rest of the reserve time. I mean, the Invoker works well with the Terrorblade, right? Because it has the Alacrity really helps the Terrorblade out as well.
You just drop a Sunstrike into the Chrono. Not a very hard Sunstrike to hit, so we'll see.
Well, I mean, it's pretty much impossible to miss, but you never know. 10 seconds left to see what we've got here. I'm intrigued. And there's a Zeus pickup. We saw
Okay,
this
that's,
last game.
I don't imagine that is going to do very well mid against an OD, but we'll see.
I saw. We did see Hooligan playing this last game. He is a pretty good Zeus player. Like you said, though, against an OD, I don't know about it. Mind you, though, last game he was up against a Viper mid lane. So
I guess that is a little bit better of a matchup.
Yeah, well, he had a much harder game last game, I'm sure. We'll find out. A lot of variables here, Econ.
Yeah, a lot of things to look at. And a lot of uncertainty about how this is going to go.
Should be going into the game fairly soon to see how they do go. Before we get into the game, actually, who do you think has the better draft?
Sorry. I think this Void strat has a really weird kind of timing window. So I do like this Razor OD core combo a little bit more. Your thoughts?
Well, I'm probably about the same. The way I think about it is, like you said, there is a timing window. It does feel like the White Llama boys, they're gonna have to get this done within 35. Otherwise, there's gonna be issues.
Yeah, it feels like when you have all these tools, like you're gonna have split push coming out of the Nature's Prophet. You're gonna need BKBs to deal with the OD. You're gonna have to find some way to kill the Razor. A lot of things you're gonna have to kind of do.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they'll have enough sustained damage. A lot of pressure on this Terrorblade to be able to find towers.
Well, we'll go through the players in the draft quickly before they get started. So, Juktong, he's playing that Slardar. Razor is being played by Geo this time around. We have Pigpen as well. He's on the Nature's Prophet. OD is being played by Slavic Donut. And Vengeful Spirit is being played by Met. And if you'd like to call out the die, please.
Light Yagami will be playing the AA, who's sitting mid with some wards. Just a boy with his 8 tangos on the OD, looks to go off. Hooligan has a ward pulled for him as he goes mid. Fatty Whale on the Terrorblade with Matt on the Lion going down the safe lane.
Oh, We'll see how they turn out. Nobody contests the bounty runes. They're both very comfortable. Speaking of early game, I mean, it appears that White Llamas would have probably the better early game at this stage, right?
It's possible. Chilling Touch is going to give them a decent amount of right click in that lane, but Nature's Prophet could just kind of sit out of the lane and get farm on these side camps. So I imagine he will get some farm. Faceless Void could be in a lot more trouble, though. I could see this Faceless Void having a very difficult lane.
Oh, it's already started, Geo, with the link. They actually throw out the stun as well, and like you said, he's going to have a tough time.
Slaughter just kind of hanging around. He's got the crush, but I don't see how he's going to get in range for it.
Yeah, I mean, he's just there to help the OD, I guess, but it's not going to be very effective.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how this laning phase develops, because Dire needs to have sort of a successful early game not to get run over in the mid game and to get some items up, but a lot of things in place that could make that very hard.
Yeah. It looks like Pigpen top lane. He's not having the easiest lane himself, but probably an easier time than Void. Void's just going to have a hell. He's actually only level 1 on Just a Boy. Yeah, he's not really able to find anything in this offlane for Void, so yeah, I think it's going to be a bit hard. Apparently, the side of
that's without the Slardar really doing much. Whenever he walks into the lane, this Razor is just going to hit him with a static link, and he's going to force him to time walk out. It's going to be kind of an issue, because you're not going to have that time walk to save you if you get stunned by the 2 stuns you have in this lane.
Well, it could happen now. Met actually throws out a stun, and Juktong's coming in as well, but there's no real block from Met quite yet. Now, there's a time walk, though. It's too late. Juktong cannot find it in time, and maybe a bit of an early stun coming out from Met.
Yeah, that's going to give Void some space to just get some levels, which he's going to need. I don't think you're going to see that same kill potential in the Dire safe lane. I mean, I just don't see how this NP is going to die. He's going to be able to play it very safe and just farm.
Yeah, well, he's got the Nature's Call as well, right? So the Treants, I mean, he can really just keep scouting with them, in a sense. And it's going to be very hard, like you said.
It makes it very hard to rotate. I mean, if you think about it, like, Ancient Apparition is not like a natural rotating hero to begin with, so you're really going to look to the Lion, I guess, if you want any rotations. Which you might need, because I don't imagine mid's going to get all that better for the Zeus. But, NP will know if you rotate, and you see the way he's using these tree ants, he's just forcing these supports to stay in lane. Versus the Slaughter, who's allowed to kind of move wherever he feels like. Even if he's not finding much, he can still, has the option of moving around.
Yeah, Red 5 seem to have the right idea so far. Again, just the boy bot lane. This man's just not having a good time. The link keeps coming out. He's been able to hit level 3 now, so he's getting a bit of XP. In terms of farm, he's getting absolutely nothing. He's got 2 last hits. In fact, he'll get a bit now, but yeah, things going very bad for White Llamas so far. But to be absolutely fair, this is what happened to them last game.
They just, Radiant did a better job of setting up lanes. And that's just part of their draft, that's part of their game plan, is just to have a much stronger laning phase to get themselves on the right foot. I mean, when you have something like a safe lane Razor, that's the idea, is you're going to do much better than you normally would in the off lane. Looks like Slardar is starting to trade again with the Voids.
Yeah, there's the link
Void's
again.
Gonna try to get out. Oh man, that is a lot of damage.
It's just so painful to watch.
Damage. Yeah, so Void basically does not actually do any damage right now.
In theory, he should really be giving damage away. Met actually steals the bounty from him as well. And look at that. There's nothing happening on Met. He's probably laughing at the fact that, Just the Boy's trying to hit him. This is it's a really poor start for this Void. He can't even get bounties on his own side.
That's a lot with, the thing is, that's all this happening without Slardar having big impactful rotations. If he actually finds a rotation, he's gonna see the Lion try to rotate in. But...
Yeah, Matt. Oh, he gets stunned up. This could be a bit of trouble for him. The Wave of Terror as well. The Hex is out. Juktong, he might keep chasing here. The Nature's Prophet comes in, but it's a bit of a delayed reaction. The tree, the Shrine's been used. Matt, he's stuck though. The stun comes out again from Juktong. The big stun coming out from Lion though. Matt does end up losing his life. Hooligan comes in to help out. Void, can he find a kill? Yes, he can. He'll get on to Pigpen, and maybe that'll bring Just the Boy back into the game a bit.
It's definitely nice that they got that kill, but, you also did give up making your mid rotate, so OD got a couple free last hits in mid. Still probably worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the best they can do right now, but like you said, OD's just been chilling out, space created for him. He's at that stage now as well where he's going to have that maxed imprisonment, so, like, the laning stage becomes literally impossible for Hooligan. After that. Oh, Geo. He could be in trouble bot lane here. Matt throws out the stun. Just the Boy jumps in as well. There's the Hex. No lucky bashes yet, Met. He has got no mana for the stun either. Just the Boy, he might keep chasing. Oh, there's a stun. He does get it, but now they lock him in the trees. No Time Walk available quite yet. Big stun from Juktong onto 2. And what a stun from Matt onto 2. He turns it right around and lets Void get away. Matt, can he walk it off? Yagami's trying to block here. Juktong trying to find the last hit. But it looks like Matt's going to get out. And somehow in hell, he gets out, but unfortunately Void loses his life. Hooligan's here now. VS goes down. He's going to find Pigpen as well, maybe. He's got no mana, though. And he uses the bottle, but I don't think it's going to matter. Just the Boy's back. He's just respawned. He gets in the trees now. Juktong, he's going to find the stun. There's the cold feet as well. The link, the time walk out. It looks like this might be it, although Hooligan wants to keep going, apparently. And he cops a bit of damage from Geo, but I think that'll be it at this point.
Wow, what a fight. Lots of rotations, and it goes on long enough for the Razor to actually respawn and get back in. You don't see the OD anywhere in that fight, and I think that's the only reason why Dire were able to take it, is they just brought more numbers in.
Speaking of OD, they found Fatty Whale, top lane. And actually Geo now. Cold feet will wear off, but yeah, they found Fatty. Fatty Whale actually pushed the tier 1 top. And it was going to the tier 2, and OD just rotated and took him out.
I still think you're okay with all that trading because you force the OD out of that fight, and you get a tower out of it, allowing you to trade bottom. I think Dire just realizing that you can't leave this Razor uncontested, and Void is not going to get it done by himself, so... you had seen that this Terrorblade had moved to the top of the net worth, so they probably figured he didn't need any more help, especially if the NP is leaving the lane.
Yeah, well, that's really the beauty of the Terrorblade, because if you go for a fight across the map, he's just going to go push with the Metamorphosis, and there's nothing you can really do about it. He's just going to take out your towers. Juktong bot lane was in a bit of trouble. We'll back off, but... yeah, like I was saying, like you can't leave the Terrorblade alone. He's just going to destroy all your towers.
Yeah, that's a definite threat. If you look at both these teams, they both have a lot of ways to start fights. So I imagine we'll probably see some more exchanges.
Oh, the Yagami, they're going to go for Pigpen here. There's no real cold feet coming out quite yet, and they'll let it go. The Metamorphosis was forced out. Met might be in trouble. Geo comes in, actually. He does use the Plasma Field. Now they find Met. There's a slow, and I think Met's screwed here, but they'll probably be willing to give that away. The Zeus ulti as well for Vision. That's a nice little pickup for the side of White Llamas.
Yeah, just in the wrong part of town.
Well, they forced the Metamorphosis out, though, I guess. So I suppose for 2 minutes they know it's not going to be available.
I suppose that's true, and that could be something of an issue. Void just turned 6, so he will have the Chronosphere. It'll be a lineup to watch because for the moment, they are very cooldown reliant in the sense that if Chronosphere will be down and you don't have Metamorphosis, you may not want to take a fight. You might see an Axe coming out at some point for the Void, just because everything else seems so low cooldown.
Hmm.
I don't know. Maybe not. Probably not.
Oh, we'll see. Looks like Matt was trying
Looks
to go.
like he's just
Matt.
thinking about the Vlads.
I don't disagree with the Ags pickup on Void though. Like I think it's pretty decent, like for that cooldown, because you're always gonna have it after that point.
Yeah. It just feels like a lineup where it could be kind of awkward if you're kind of waiting around for it. Because, you know, Zeus is kind of almost always ready to fight.
Hmm.
His ulti is such a low cooldown, always putting out damage. Terrorblade, after a fight, is always kind of ready to turn into a push, so you have a lot of heroes that want to stay active, and then you have a hero who just kind of waits for his ulti to come back. They won't find the Void. So.
Yeah, they made an attempt on the OD mid, but did not work out. They're in position to push mid. They're pinging it out, in fact. There's 10 seconds left for the meta. And it looks like Fatty Well, he's not interested at all. He just backs off and goes to the jungle for some farm.
Yeah. The OD has finished a Midas. So they'll be okay kind of taking it late. AA is still working on one, but it probably won't happen for quite a while.
Just the boy top lane. There's the Chrono onto 2. Now the stun from Matt. It is a bit early though. The mana drain starts coming out, and Juktong's still alright through all this. They're trying to take out Just the Boy, and the Void, I should say, the Zeus ulti comes out. Pigpen's gonna go down here, and Met's screwed as well. Just the Boy still survives through all this. Fatty Well, nice little rotation. That's a 3-0.
And look at the tower deny. Ah, that is so hard.
That's a problem.
That is definitely concerning. Terrorblade just about to have the Dragon Lance, so it's going to give him some nice stats going to the early game. They just overcommitted for this tower, and you know, you think the Chrono itself, not a lot of damage coming in, but it just kind of felt like a distraction in a lot of ways, because the Terrorblade's the real problem.
Yeah. Yeah, well that's it, isn't it? Like he delays everything with the Chrono, gives his team enough time to rotate in, and then, you know, Fatty Well comes in and just ruins everything for the side of the Radiant. Red 5.
Yeah.
They're going to have to watch out for that next time. In fact, Just the Boy, he's going to have a go onto Pigpen bot lane and gets a lucky bash first hit, but yeah, things working out well for the side of White Llamas so far. Actually, are they going onto bot? It looks like they are chasing Pigpen. Light Yagami, he does find the slow, but they can't really cancel that TP. Unfortunately, the tree's blocking Just a Boy, and he has no axe. What the hell is that called? The Quelling Blade. He doesn't have one. Bit of a problem.
He will survive. Not enough. He's not low enough to shatter. It's just kind of an annoying part of an NP just moving around the map, and you know, just not that much lockdown if you don't have the Chronosphere. I mean, you do have the line that's nice, but just not enough, I suppose. Venge has almost used up her raindrop. She's probably gonna have to buy another one, because I don't imagine that's gonna last very long.
No.
Slaughter has reached his 6.
Oh, they stun onto Hooligan here, and Slavic Donut, he's just going to hit him up with the Arcane Orbs. The ulti does come out. He actually deals a lot of damage back to them, and he actually got a kill onto Juktung Ju while all that was happening somehow, so he got a lucky kill for himself as well.
Yeah, just a lot. It's very easy to pump a lot of damage to this Chronosphere, so it's not that surprising that the Slaughter dies. Perhaps a little more surprising that the Zeus does end up going down, but I guess that's just part of having an OD who could be pretty big this game.
Indeed he could. They're going to try and go onto a Met, but can't get the initiation. I mean, like you said, the OD could get very, very big, and this is going to be a problem, right? Because if it goes too late, the White Llamas, I don't... Like, they can't really push that, like, push it that late, can they?
They may have to.
Oh, Geo bot lane. He's actually... Oh, never mind. There was an Astral Imprisonment. He stops the Void from chasing. Sorry, you were saying?
They may have to if they can't get enough towers down.
Oh, they're going Hooligan mid lane now. Stun out from Juktong. Hooligan does end up dropping Yagami as well. And they'll take out 2. So that's 2 down for the Llama boys. Good little rotation.
Yeah, that's going to definitely push things later than they may like. And Llama, at some point, you have to say these heroes are going to need to get BKBs against this lineup. But a lot of heroes that probably don't want to build a BKB.
Oh,
you know, you never think about Zeus as this big BKB hero, right?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I imagine Void's going to need a BKB.
I can't disagree with you there. He probably is going to require one. Otherwise, he's just not going to be able to do anything in the chrono.
So I imagine, you know, we're going to have to talk at some point about BKBs. Terrorblade, not... I guess Terrorblade also, you know... There's alternatives, but he might need one.
Yagami literally just solo killed the OD with the Zeus ulti. And Pigpen will pick that one up, but nevertheless, that's a massive kill. Actually, mid lane, they're going to have a go here. Just the boy is thinking about the chrono. Does not find it, though. And Fatty, I mean, he's used the Metamorphosis. He's about to run out, but it looks like he wanted to get some kind of damage on that tier 1 tower. And now they'll back off.
Llamas know that whenever they use this Metamorphosis, very long cooldown, don't want to fight without it, especially with a chrono. You know, what are you going to do if you chrono but you don't have Metamorphosis? So whenever it's up, they know they have to do something with it, but sometimes there's just nothing on the map to do with it in terms of pushing. You know, what if you just don't give them the opportunity?
Yep. Oh. Just getting back to farming at this point. It looks like the Radiant want to make the push into the tier 1 mid. Is there going to be a defense? We're going to find out soon. Just the boy. He gets the Corrosive Haze going. There is a deny coming up from Matt. That was a big one, but the Astral's there. Probably worth it if he dies. It doesn't really matter. Oh, big stun coming in. They will stun him back, though, and they'll confirm that kill. Now Hooligan, he's trying to take out Juktong. Doesn't find it, though, and the ulti's not available. So he'll miss out on that one at this point. Meanwhile, Slavic Donut, mid lane. Who's he got there? It's Fatty. Well, he's got the Sunder available, but he can't get it off. He's been stun locked. What a chrono onto 4. My goodness. Now the Zeus ulti. There's not really too much follow-up, though. Geo, he might go down as well. OD was lost there. Just the boy keeps going. Pigpen, he's going to go down as well. No, he gets trapped in the trees again on Just the boy, and he does not... Oh, he does have the Quelling Blade. Didn't use it, unfortunately. Light Yagami still chasing this Pigpen, and if he can find him, that'll be massive. Met, meanwhile, almost goes down to the finger of Matt. There comes the Razor. They can't take out VS. The raindrops save him pretty much. Yagami again comes in, but it turns... Oh, no, wait a minute. There's a swap on Yagami. They want to keep going here, and I think Yagami's been... Well, is he going to die? The Plasma Field will catch him. They will get another kill for themselves, so relatively even fight.
It's kind of shocking that they traded evenly when you get basically a perfect Chronosphere. We talked about how you needed to get everyone in the Chrono or you'd have trouble, and he actually gets all 4 heroes in the area in the Chrono. The AA Blast was a little bit off, which is unfortunate, because they basically had everything they needed, and they still only managed to trade evenly.
I guess the one problem was the Terrorblade just died before it came out.
Yeah, it's a lot of burst damage, really, you know, the AA and the Zeus, but Terrorblade, you're sustained damage, so... Well, looks like they will turn into a tier 1 tower, though.
Indeed. Well, the tier 1 bot's going down, the tier 1 mid goes down from Fattywell, so it's a bit of an even trade, and actually, no, it doesn't get denied. Geo will get the kill. But Fatty, he's making the plays with the Terrorblade as well. He's... Even when the Radiant side are pushing as 4 or 5, he's just going solo, which is one of those strengths that the Terrorblade has, and he's going to have the Manta Style soon, which, you know, with a Manta Style and Dragonlance, it's going to be a big problem. In terms of push capability, Red 5, they're going to have to be defending 24/7.
No one really has BKB queued up. I wonder if the OD will. I'm sorry, the Void will think about it now that he's got the Vlads. Probably not. So if you get a Manta on this Terrorblade and Zeus goes for something like a Veil or a Blink, it just feels like the BKB is going to come out like maybe like 35 minutes or something, maybe later. It just feels so late if you keep itemizing this way.
It's going to be a problem, like you said. It's just strange it's strange to see Zeus get a BKB.
I mean, I know you don't want to do it, but Nature's Prophet's going to have a Maelstrom. That's a magic damage proc. He's got his Wrath of Nature ulti, which is going to be another magic damage ability. You can't... Corrosive Haze will go through, but you could BKB after Hazed. You know, and it keeps you from the crush. It stops... It just feels essential, this game.
They're going after Pigpen bot lane. I think Pigpen might be screwed here. Hooligan will find the kill.
A needed kill. And they may be able... I don't actually know if they'll be able to really turn it into a tower if this is contested, because they don't have the Terrorblade. But...
Well,
Radiant... They may just give it up.
Yeah, it looks that way.
In rotating.
It's going down pretty fast. They've got the siege creep there as well, so not going to take very long. There is one TP from Met, but he's kind of got himself stuck here.
He's going to be in an awkward position.
Oh, there's a second one, but Void's walking in. He's got the Chrono, and he sees the OD TP. He could just commit the Chrono if he wants. Slavic Donut has to be careful. There's the ulti from the AA, but the stun from Juktong. There's the Astral, though. It saves Void. Slavic, he's going to go down. It looks like the hammer's dropped. He gets the Void as a trade. So it sort of is a 2 for 2 at the end of the day, but the tier 1's lost. And I don't think that was the idea. Actually, Pigpen, though, Yagami, he's going to go down, it looks like. Plasma Field coming out from Geo as well. And that'll be it, but... You know what I've noticed here, Econ, is Fatty Whale is never there to help out.
Nope, just farming. I just felt very strange to me. The TP rotations came in so late, and it's not like, you know, this was this really sudden push. It was a very, very slow push, and they used the Fortify. I didn't check. Maybe their TPs were on cooldown or something. Fatty Whales, I think he knows that he needs to be the big farmed hero if they're not going to end the game, and he probably feels like he needs items this game if they're going to take it late.
There's a Chrono, Econ, onto 2. And that's actually pretty massive. Matt, Finger of Death comes out. A bash onto Geo as well. Can they get the kill? Fatty's here this time around, and he's not going to allow them to get out. Now Met, looks like he'll tick out to the AA ulti damage anyway. And yeah, he'll go down to Yagami. So there's a good couple kills for them, and a tier 2 push failed.
Yeah, well, you cannot... this is what we were kind of talking about. The Chronosphere will only be a success if you capture everyone in it. And the Venge... and the Razor should not be standing next to each other, pretty much ever. There should always be enough of space for a swap.
It does
the scan will reveal.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to find Juktong, and I think Juktong's pretty much screwed. Yeah, Matt takes him out so fast. Oh, sorry, Hooligan took him out so fast, but this is... I mean, it feels like they might just hit their timing here, Econ. The White Llamas, they've got something going here. There's a bit of momentum.
Well, there was something of a misplay with the Venge and the Razor, and they were able to smoke off the back of that, turn into another pickoff, and all of a sudden, they're in a pretty good spot to push. And NP can split push, but he cannot split push as fast as a Terrorblade can take your tower.
Yeah, well, they find Yagami. They'll get one little kill from that, so bit of punishment going to the way of the die. It looks like the rest may be able to get out. Hooligan probably in a slight bit of danger if that invis wears out, but nah, he'll be fine. Yeah, like you said though, MP, he can push, but you can't push as fast as a Terrorblade.
I don't think you're that concerned about losing an AA after he's already used Ice Blast. You know, his Midas will be coming off cooldown, so I mean you lose 20 seconds of effective Midas time, but that's about it. He's getting decently close to his axe, so he has significant damage increase.
Oh, the tier 2 now. Being attacked, AA, down for another 5 seconds. Are they going to go for a fight? I heard a Hex. It was just from Matt onto the Slardar. Looks like Fatty is here to help out. Metamorphosis down for another 6 seconds, so he needs that up ASAP. The Link's there as well, which is going to ruin it for him. The stun comes out. Are they going to go? It looks like they will. Juk Tong, he's in big trouble. They'll take out the OD as well. He has buyback, but he's not obviously not going to use it. Fatty finds the Sunder onto the Slardar, but he's in a bit of trouble here. Geo's just too tanky for him, so we have to back off. Good chrono onto 2 again from just the boy. Swap though, and Geo goes down anyway because Zeus was in position. Met. It looks like he's about to lose his life, but they'll go for the MP first and they'll get him. And in fact, Fattywell came back in anyway for the Shrine, and it's a 4-0 again.
Just a lot of trouble for Radiant to kind of close in on these objectives, which is kind of strange if you think about it, because they have a Nature's Prophet, so you would think they'd be able to push pretty well. Not the case.
No, not an. And you know what? We were mentioning the whole like VS can swap out people and stuff like that. We just saw, as long as they're low enough, Hooligan on the Zeus, he's just gonna be there to finish them off anyway.
Yeah, it's just kind of awkward. I imagine maybe things get better once Benj finishes this pipe. She's opted for just basically a naked pipe. I would almost kind of like maybe an Aetherland some point, just to make it easier to swap people out. But I feel like the positioning has been a little off. Void is a very good hero for punishing teams that don't position the way they should.
Yeah. Looks like they're trying to find somebody here. If they don't, I suppose they'll just rotate to the tier 2 mid anyway, because they still have the meta. They didn't use it for the bot tier 2. In fact,
the meta and a Manta should not be too hard to take it. They won't have the Chronosphere. That's pretty much it.
Oh, they're going for the Roshan, in fact. They will commit the meta for it as well. They just want to get rid of it as soon as possible. I mean, is this worth it? It feels like they could have really gone for that tier 2.
I thought they were going to pressure it, but I guess not. Instead, you're going to take getting a tier 2 to trading. I guess a free Roshan's not too bad. And people get a little bit of chip damage maybe on this tier 2.
I really felt like they could have gone for the tier 2 and then just gone to Roshan afterwards, but they do it the other way around, and it looks like they're just going to give up on the tier 2 completely. Like I said, MP doing the split pushing again, but not really that effective, unfortunately.
Lots of ways to kind of deal with the split push. AA is quite good. Lion, now that it's a blink, can also kind of catch out the NP. It does have a Hurricane Pike, but that's kind of about it in terms of save.
I mean, if you were sitting here on the White Llama side, you're in the lead. How long would you let this game go on for before you'd think you'd lost the game?
I would kind of have concerns if this went more than another 20 minutes. I would, now that you have the Aegis, you definitely want to be thinking about taking some objectives off the map, doing something with this Aegis.
Oh, Slavic. He's going to be in trouble. No, there's the Link, and big stun from Juk Tong, but the Zeus ulted, the Chrono as well. The AA ultimate comes in, and the stun. My goodness, they throw everything but the kitchen sink here. And the Sunder from Fattywell, that was a bit of a mistake, but nevertheless, they take him out. That is a 3 for 1 so far. Make that a 3 for 2. Fatty has to be careful. He might go down here to Pigpen, and he will, but he has the Aegis regardless. Can Light Yagami get a kill? No, he cannot. He does have the Aghanims, mind you, on the AA. Fattywell gonna be taking out Slavic Donut, who apparently cannot take on this Terrorblade, even though there's no meta. Zeus looks like he'll get the kill on OD regardless. The Link coming out from Geo, and Hooligan, can he get the kill? Oh, not throwing anything out quite yet. Now he does, but he's basically killed himself for it. And can he blink? Nope, he can't. Bit of a delay there, but now Metamorphosis on Fatty Whale, and he's got the Sunder again. He can really just Sunder and keep going if he wanted, but he'll let it go.
Another crazy team fight. But at the end of the day, the Aegis was enough for them to secure a tier 2 tower. I imagine this means they won't really be thinking about going high ground until they have another Aegis and cheese on them. Another good chrono. I'm surprised how many chronos that that Just a Boy has found. Given the kind of lineup he's playing into, it's pretty impressive.
See how long they can drag this out on the side of Red 5. Pigpen's getting there. He's going for the Oblivion, the Orchid next, my apologies.
I mean, they have a bunch of Midases, so if you can just kind of hang in there, you know, 2 Midases and heroes that have decent scaling. Lots of heroes that scale very well, so it's not like there's pressure that, oh, I can just take out this one hero. And it feels like they have all the tools they need.
Yeah, just the only thing they need is time, apparently.
Yeah. Could we see a 0 BKB game?
Maybe.
It's gonna be,
Oh, they find Slavic Donut. And they can't lock him down quite yet. The link onto an illusion, but that still gives damage to Razor. But Slavic is just so slow right now. Big stun from Juktong. That actually stops everything in its tracks, and it'll give Slavic enough time to back off unless this AA ultimate hits. Slavic, is it going to hit him? Yes, it does. Oh, no. Oh, that's a shame.
Well, the pipe is now done, at least. So that's one way of dealing with AA. But, you know, pipe only blocks like 400 magic damage per person, and you know, AA Zeus, that's it. It's already gone. So they then follow up with like Lion at all. You know, you're not going to block it.
Well, they'll get that last tier 2 at the top. And, I mean, Fatty, he's got the meta now. He's waiting for his Manta. It's about 10 seconds away. They smoke up. This could be the team fight to get them a Rax here. I think they realize they're on a timer. Hooligan jumps in straight away. Bale of Discord. They're going to take out the Razor. And, yeah, he's gone with absolutely... It took them literally nothing to take him out. I mean, I don't think they can block this because there's no buybacks available on the side of Red 5.
I think you might just have to give it up, because OD will be back up, but OD, basically his only item is a Hurricane Pike. After doing so well in the mid lane, he's really only bringing one item to the fight at 30 minutes.
Oh no, the chrono comes out, the hammer did absolutely nothing, VS loses his life, and there's a good stun out from Juktong. Can they defend this? No, Matt with the stun as well. Oh, and the Zeus ultimate, this is looking really bad, and Radiant are gonna lose, I think. No, wait a minute, MP in the backline's trying to do something, but Pigpen, he will lose his life, and yeah, I think this might is GG.
Did he force... No, Terrorblade must have force-staffed him in the Hurricane. Wait. Did OD force-staff into that?
Into the chrono?
I feel like he force-staffed... I don't know. Best not to think too much about it. Yeah, so that's probably game. There's no buybacks. So it's going to be a Razor and Avenge trying to hold off against Megas.
Oh, Razor. They're going to about to take out Matt at the very least. They could take out some... Oh no, Matt just blinks out. That's it. They get basically a Rax and a half. They leave the range Rax, which doesn't really matter. It's pretty good. They're trying to get some punishment here. Juktong, he's chasing Yagami. I don't think he can survive this one, but it's a worthy sacrifice at the end of the day. It's still taking them a lot of time to take him out, actually. He's even might be able to take out Juktong. He has the Aghanim Scepter, don't forget, so I think he's going to tick out here.
I feel like if that Lotus Orb came out a little bit earlier, maybe. Well, you never know. That Lotus Orb is definitely going to be a big pickup. Yeah, not enough damage from the Zeus, but you know, you think about all the things it reflects. Basically everything gets reflected by a Lotus Orb.
Well, things are looking very bad for Red 5 at the moment. Do you feel like if they continue dragging it out, do you feel like they can still push this back? Just the boy. Never mind, Pigpen gets out of there.
Oh man, it's so much global damage. The Zeus Axe actually is just such a nice pickup this game. especially against an NP, if you try to split push against it, it really does slow down pushes. Among the many other uses it's going to have this game, it is not easy to get back into this game by any means. I hate to keep talking about this item, but I actually now think Radiant should be thinking about BKB to deal with the Zeus, to deal with the AA. I think you need to find a way back into this game. You're down a lot of gold.
Yeah.
And you need some big item. I think the only miracle item in this game that can turn it around is the BKB. And OD apparently agrees. You need something that can get you that one team fight win.
Yeah, I mean, Slavic's trying to get it. It's just, you know, at this point, because they've waited a bit too long to get it, it feels like they can't, there's no farm left. And in fact, Met, he's going to get caught out with the Lotus Orb, and now the Zeus ulti comes in as well. And I mean, that's just another dead VS, and no buyback again. So I don't know if they can defend again.
Yeah, that means your pipe is no longer available for that fight. You will not have the pipe, which is actually a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
As far as behind they are, they really kind of need that pipe.
Not only that, but the swap's gone now, so the chrono, it's going to be that much more effective. Just a boy. Oh, stun out from Juk Tong, but he's getting copping so much damage from Fatty. He goes down. Yeah, Yep.
No way to hold it at this point.
Nah. Well, Slavic, Astral comes out. Pigpen jumps in as well, but the Rax is just melting right now, and yeah, Fatty, he's just objective based right now. Big chrono coming out as well to 2, and yeah, they're just gonna go down. There's just nothing to do here. Just the boys keeps chasing him.
GG.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't blame him. They tried their best, but like White Llamas, they just hit their timing in both games.
Yeah, I feel like White Llamas was just a little more disciplined. I feel like their positioning was slightly better, and I think that was the big difference in just the way they positioned and the way they took fights.
Well, Econ, thank you very much for joining me for this game too. Did you have any shoutouts or socials you wanted to share? Hello? I think we may have lost Econ. Yeah, it feels like we have lost Econ. Well, regardless, thanks to Econ for joining me. Seems like something's happened. It's been Michael Phoenix, it's been Econ. Guys, thanks for watching. Apologies to Brazius Golf, who, had the request of It's a Disaster. Just, I don't feel like it really came, that scene. There may have been 1 or 2 times it could have happened, but generally you want to use that line if it's like if a team's behind and then they come back. That's where I feel like you'd want to use it. So I didn't want to use it because I felt like it was a bit of an insult to use it in the wrong situation. Nevertheless, I'm sure we'll see it sometime. Guys, it's been a pleasure. If you enjoy what you saw, consider following. And Econ, you're back?
Yeah, sorry, computer crash.
That's all right, mate. Did you have any did you have any shout outs, or did you have any socials you wanted to share?
Not particularly, no.
All right, well, thanks for joining me. Well, I've already closed this off, so yeah. Well, look, guys, thanks for watching. It's been a pleasure. You guys have a great day ahead.